because there is a resounding amount of hate towards Texas, even after beating Alabama 34-24. Still not a lot of believers. I think you're probably not one of those believers too. You're still waiting for them to trip up in the Big 12, but the team that I saw in Tuscaloosa on Saturday evening was a complete team who got punched in the mouth late in the game, fought back. Quinn Ewers looked much better. Deep balls were connecting. The receiver talent was remarkable. No sacks allowed. Tackle play on the offensive line was great. Defensive linemen got in Jalen Milroe's face consistently. They were flying to the ball. They were hitting hard. And you know what? Maybe they'll lose to Kansas State or Texas Tech or
Kansas. There's a lot of candidates out there.
Whatever. But this team right now needs to be taken seriously and at least hopefully temporarily, got some respect from at least you, David Ubben.
Well, Ari, I think ultimately when you look at Texas coming into this game, I thought they were going to fight Alabama to a draw on the lines of scrimmage and win because they were better at the skill positions. And I didn't think Alabama was going to be able to score. Texas won the battle. Excuse me. They won the battle on the line of scrimmage.
Still hard to believe, isn't it?
Not really, because I've been saying all off season.
Yeah.
I don't believe in this Alabama offensive line. Now, the no sacks on Quinn Ewers, I think, is very surprising. And that, to me, is what made me perk up. Texas didn't run the ball great tonight, but they ran it well enough. Quinn Ewers made enough throws to win. But Texas let a lot of opportunities get away. They should have won this game by more than they did. But they were clearly the better team. They won it on the line of scrimmage. They had better skill position talent. Steve Sarkisian coached an unbelievable game. Aggressive, creative, kept Alabama on their toes, kept the pass rush at bay. A fantastic performance in every way from Texas. There's nothing you can say about what Texas did tonight, except for maybe the red zone execution there. That leaves you questioning. It's just if this Texas team shows up every week, that's a playoff team, Ari. I think that the task for the next 2 months is making sure that that's the team that shows up every week.
Dave, when I said before the year started that I thought that Texas was a playoff team, that is the team that I envisioned.
Yeah.
Now, if they come out and they lay an egg and they stink against Kansas, they won't have played the way that they played this evening. So I'm not some sort of mastermind prognosticator. I can't get out in front of it and say that that's not going to happen again. But I also find it to be a little bit disrespectful that you're not you, but people in general are just anticipating them falling on their face when at least they should have earned some of the benefit of the doubt, because this is a very different football team.
It's a two-pronged thing, though. We've seen this from Texas, really talented Texas teams, and Sark at Washington and USC, for better or worse, has not had a team that showed up for 12 consecutive weeks and didn't lose a game that they weren't supposed to lose. So this
is also the first time that Steve Sarkisian has won a game against his top 5 opponents since 2009.
Sure.
He's now 2-7 in his career. I think drawing parallels to things in the past can often make sense. I think oftentimes it's not real analysis. And that was kind of the preseason analysis on my part of just like, this is a complete football team that went on the road and beat Alabama. And let me tell you what I thought was most impressive when I was at the game. At the end of the third quarter, I believe it was, Alabama took the lead. And despite the fact that Texas seemed to be dominating the game, Alabama went into the lead. And then that thought process, in the press box, people were cracking jokes about it. It was kind of just like the here we go moment again. Here we go again. Texas is going to blow it. They can't close, all that stuff. And then Quinn Ewers, I think it was a 4 or 5 play drive down the field, touchdown right back at him to take the lead.
I think it was 3 plays, wasn't it?
3 plays. And then on the following possession, Jalen Milroe throw one of the most mind-boggling interceptions of my life.
Well, the Texas defender was wide open, to be fair, Ari.
He was. But they took the game back. And then even then, Alabama scored again to get within 3. And then A.D. Mitchell, 39-yard pass. I thought Quinn Ewers I was in the press box, and it's like the perfect view length. But that first touchdown throw that he threw, I believe it was the Xavier Worthy for 44 yards.
Ball. Yeah.
That ball, I think, went open and landed directly in the breadbasket. Yeah. And it's like, here are all the criticisms. And I think I wrote this in my column. But the criticisms are Steve Sarkisian can't win the big game, right? Their quarterback hasn't proven anything.
Every week. Can you do it every week?
You're making parallels. You're making parallels to past Texas teams when I don't remember the last time they went and beat Alabama.
I'm just saying, I think it's not the hardest thing in the world to win 10 games at USC and Washington, and he was not able to do that. That's my only point. I think this team is good enough to do it.
Always look at what happened so far and at least acknowledge that this is a different trajectory of a team than the ones that we're comparing them to. So again, thinking about whether or not they're going to lose to a random Big 12 team, obviously that's on the table. Actually, ironically enough, I think that they could still do that and make the playoff now with the Alabama cachet in the hat. And they could win the Big 12.
That's a big resume check there.
And I do think that there are certain, Florida State had it some last weekend. You see it in playoff games all the time, but there's a certain intensity and speed that certain teams play with that is just a different level or a different echelon than other really good teams. Mm-hmm. And I think that Texas displayed that this evening. And, at the very least, a lot of the comments on my stories are, who's going to be more insufferable, Texas or Ari? And, everybody's tired of the, Texas discussion, but like at the very
Texas
least,
on a victory lap, they seemed pretty chill.
And I don't even want to do a victory lap. I haven't won anything. I didn't play in the game. I didn't win. But at the very least, when a team goes on the road and beats Alabama and basically, out physicals them on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
I think that they at least deserve the weekend before all the bullshit of, they're going to suck or they always stink. And it's just like, what? Like everyone's like the hype train left. It's like they just beat Bama. That's the exact opposite of hype. That's results. Results happen tonight. And wherever you stand on Texas, I think that they deserve that respect for at least the weekend. So that said, Dave,
I'll counter this briefly. All right. They have people's respect. I don't think they have people's trust in the same way that Alabama and Georgia, that they're not going to come out and lay an egg that makes you say, what the heck was that? That's the issue. I think they have respect. They just don't have trust.
We got a graphic up here that our wonderful producer Cam Molina did for us. 349 passing yards, touchdowns for 3, and completion percentage of 63% for Quinn Ewers tonight. Both 2 of the 3 touchdowns came from 20 yards out. I thought his deep ball looked improved. And you know what I think the best thing about Quinn Ewers is, and I know Sam Kahn, our colleague, wrote about him tonight. I haven't read that yet because I was in traffic. But, Alabama's defense is nasty. They are. They're nasty.
They looked good.
And they got after the quarterback today, and Quinn Ewers did not flinch. He stood in the pocket. I thought that Steve Sarkisian did a wonderful job of, a lot of these screens, a lot of these flats throws that, went for 6-7 yards. They timed the offense perfectly of when to take their shots. But I thought Quinn Ewers did a pretty good job of, kind of just standing into that pocket there, watching those freaks come at him and like kind of staying in there. And I don't know if this was like the Quinn Ewers has arrived officially moment, but I thought he played a hell of a game. And the best part about his game is that he didn't turn the ball over. So that to me is okay. I think we're in a position now where, we have a new, Florida State's, out there now. We got Texas out there, obviously, other teams are going to, be in the mix. Michigan's in the mix, Ohio State to a certain extent, even though I thought they looked very boring yet again on Saturday. They're in the mix. Georgia's in the mix. It'll be cool to see if there's some new blood.